Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naisha if you're new here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a full face of drugstore and affordable makeup. So if you're new here, again welcome. My name is Naisha, I'm a mom of two and I am a shopaholic, and I am what you call a beauty enthusiast. I'm not a makeup artist by any means, but I just love makeup. I love buying makeup, I love applying makeup. So if you saw one of my recent videos, I did a full face of my Sephora VIP sale haul. I'll link it up in the cards or down below if you haven't seen it. And I put a whole bunch of bougie makeup on my face. Also, I said the word bougie a lot. If you watched that video, comment down below how many times I said bougie, because it was real bougie. Anyway, in this video, we're going to tone it down a little. We're going to bring it back a little. We're going to check our pockets a little bit. And we're going to be doing a full face of drugstore affordable makeup. The reason why I say affordable is because some of the items are from Ulta. So if you follow me on Instagram, I recently posted a video of me in CVS walking around seeing what all the new things are, what all the new makeup releases are. Because sometimes I feel like drugstore products don't really get the hype that high-end products get, say, on Instagram. So I went into the drugstore, walked around, and was looking at all this stuff that I haven't really seen anybody talk about or had any hype. So I did that video. I'll link that video down below if you haven't seen it, or if you follow me on Instagram, you can see it on Instagram. And then after that video, I showed like a little mini haul of the things that I got. So I'm gonna try those out because they're brand new to me. I've never used them before, as well as some other things that I picked up in Ulta recently. I had a huge Ulta holiday sale haul. Again, I'll link that in the cards or down below if you haven't seen it. I picked up a bunch of stuff at Ulta, so I'm also going to use some of the new things that I picked up there. But what I'm really excited to use is the Colourpop X Rawbeautykristi at Forest Sight palette. This is the palette. It is beautiful. It is mostly matte with two shimmers. I love the color story of this, and this is the look that we came up with. So if you're interested in seeing me do this look with that palette and then do the rest of my face with all drugstore and affordable makeup, and I won't be saying the word bougie 100 times, please keep on watching. All right, so we're going to start off with brows. I'm going to start off with the Revlon Colorstay brow pencil. This is not new, but this is actually one of my favorite drugstore brow pencils. So it's not like the thinner one, it has like this weird round shape, but I love the formula, and then of course the spoolie on the other end. So I'm just gonna fill in my brows. What I like about this formula is like a one-stop shop. It has a gel-like formula, so it fills in the entire brow. You don't need to go in with the actual brow pomade. It does a really good job on its own as a pencil. What is new is this Revlon Colorstay Brow Shape and Glow. So it is a pen on one side, a felt tip pen, and then on the other side it's a glowy powder to highlight under your eyebrows. Probably going to use that later on, but for now I'm going to do like the hair like strokes in the front of my eyebrow. I'm going to go through it with this pen. Let's see how we like it. You can see the strokes at the front. It's actually not bad. The key is to figure out if it's going to last long or dry out in 2 seconds. The tip is a little thicker than I would like. The brow blade that I love is really, really extremely thin. So it's a little bit thick, but again, not bad at all. Okay, and I'm going to clean up those brows with some concealer. Okay, for eye primer, I'm going to use the Covergirl Lid Lockup Eyeshadow Primer. This was one of the new products I got at CVS. Has a little bit of color to it, but not a lot. Okay, so it's a little bit tacky. It reminds me of the Fenty Beauty one. So hopefully it really grabs onto the eyeshadow pigment. And for eyeshadow, I'm finally going to jump into the Colourpop X Rawbeautykristi at Forest Sight palette. As soon as this launched, I got on there, I grabbed it. I just wanted a palette, didn't want any of the other stuff. One, because I wanted to support Kristi, and two, look at how pretty it is. It really just looks like a forest. We got the greens, the beautiful reds, these mustardy colors, absolutely beautiful. Love it. I have a ton of Colourpop palettes that I haven't used in a really long time, so really happy to be using a Colourpop palette. For brushes, I picked up a bunch of Profusion brushes at Walmart. These are anywhere from like $3 to $5 each, and they're all eye brushes. So I'm going to use this with the Colourpop palette. Before I go in with the Profusion brush, I'm going to use this Ulta Beauty brush. It is the Ulta Beauty and I think Black Widow. I got this one for around $5 to $6. I had 50% off at Ulta. So I'm going to start off with this big fluffy one. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Old Growth as my transition. Okay, it's a nice light color, but it's giving me a little bit of pigment and nice pinky transition color. Next, I'm going to take the Profusion Firm Blending Eyeshadow, and we're going to go into Rainier. Slightly darker brown, and we're going to put that right in the crease. Okay, that's a really nice warm brown. It went down really nice as well. So far, so good. Next, we're going to take this small firm eyeshadow, and we're going to go into Amanita, this deep plummy color in the outer V. Okay, that color did a really good job deepening things up. That is actually my favorite color that I've used so far. It is beautiful. It is rich. I believe it's a pigment because there's an asterisk next to it, because it says not intended for use in the immediate eye area, but it's in an eyeshadow palette, but you know, whatever. Okay, now I'm going to go into the lid color, and I'm going to go in with Evergreen on the lid. And I already know how this goes. I'm going to use my finger. It's a beautiful shifty green right on the lid with my finger. Then I'm going to use this NYX Ulta and Marvel Cosmetics brush. Is a flat concealer brush. I'm going to use it with the same shimmer on the lid, and I'm going to wet it. Then I'm going to go back in with Amanita on the outer V. Okay, next I'm going to take this Nabla eyebrow brush, and I'm going to go into Let It Rain, which is like a sparkly black. And we're going to make our liner and a little bit of a smudgy wing. And I'm going to take this really tiny Profusion brush. It's a flat, precise eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to smudge that out a little bit more. Now I'm actually going to take a little bit of this gold, this West Coast, on this tiny flat shaded eyeshadow brush by Profusion. And I'm going to put it in the front of my lid. And I'm going to put that gold right here. Okay, we're going to leave the eyes here for now. I'm going to do liner and lashes, and then we'll come back to the lower lash line when we're done with the face. For lashes, I picked these up at CVS. It is the Kiss Lash Couture Max Out limited edition lashes in Drama. They are very, very piecey. They look to be very layered. They really do look dramatic, hence the name Drama. And to put it on, I'm going to use the Kiss Lash Glue Liner. This is not new. I've used this before, but I'm using the clear one. I've used the black one several times, but since I'm not doing a black liner, and I have more of a smudgy wing, I'm going to go over with the clear so it doesn't affect what we have underneath and put our lashes on. And like I've said, I've used the black one several times. I have a tutorial on my IGTV on how to use it and why I love it so much. I'll link that down below if you haven't seen it. These lashes are dramatic, but they are stunning. Very, very dramatic. Almost covering up the eyeshadow, but very, very beautiful lashes. Okay, now we're going to move on to the face. For primer, I picked up the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. It is a 12-hour makeup grip primer, and a lot of people are saying this is a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip, which I love. So it's not brand new, but it's on the newer side, and I picked it up at Walmart. So yeah, I see what people have been saying has the same kind of green jelly look like the Milk one. Same very kind of sticky feel to it. It is really sticky. So we'll see if it works the same. Okay, and for foundation, we're gonna go in with the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer in Deep 01. This was new at Ulta. It's pretty new for L'Oreal. Well, I think it's their newest launch. So you know me, I like more coverage, but we're gonna try this tinted moisturizer. That's the color. And I got like excited there. Before we go in with that, the sponge we're gonna use is the Milani, the Perfector Duo. So it's 2 blending sponges, a bigger one and a little one. Okay, so we have 2 sponges. We have the bigger one and the smaller one. So I'm gonna use a bigger one for my face, and this is what it looks like dry, and this is what it looks like wet. It got really big. It is so soft, like scary soft. Back to the tinted moisturizer, and let's see. Pretty warm. What's new? I know this is not gonna have a lot of coverage, but we're gonna see how much coverage we can get out of it. Okay, as usual, I'm off with the color, and it is pretty light coverage and is very, very luminous, but it looks really nice on my skin. It gave me a little bit more coverage than I was expecting, especially around the mouth, which is my problem area. So not bad. This is gonna be good for like no makeup days, and I think because it's more light coverage, me being off with the color is not so bad. And for concealer, I got this new at CVS, the L'Oreal True Match Corrector Cream. It's eye cream in a concealer, which sounds amazing to me. So back in the day, like 15 years ago, the L'Oreal True Match foundation was my holy grail, and I wore that for years and years and years. I still to this day use the True Match powder as my finishing powder. I buy it in bulk. I have like 3 or 4 backups at a time because that's what I use almost every day. So this is pretty, I was very excited when I saw this, pretty new. So I got the shade W56. In foundation, I use either W8 or N7, somewhere around there. So this is the concealer. I use a little bit of it earlier to carve out my brows. So it's a squeezy tube. I usually prefer a doe foot because, you know, obviously it's easier to put on. But I'm going to use this Luxe brush and dab it on. It is pretty liquidy, so I'm just going to let it sit there for a minute while we do our cream bronzer. And I picked up the Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm in medium dark. This Soul Body is a sister brand to Colourpop. So when I got the palette, I also got this bronzing balm. This is the packaging. And to me, this looks like a dupe for that Chanel bronzer, cream bronzer that everybody loves, but it comes in one shade. So therefore, it's not universal. I don't know what's wrong with those people. But this looks like a pretty good shade, so I'm going to use this as my cream bronzer. I'm going to use this e.l.f. brush, which is really good with cream products, e.l.f. 103. Just going to go right in. See what we can pick up. Right in. That is actually giving some warmth to the skin. Which is pretty nice. If I want more of a contrast, I'm going to have to get the darker color. Like maybe when I tan in the summertime. But for now, this is giving me a little bit of warmth, which is good. It does have a smell to it, a pretty fruity smell to it. It's interesting. Anyway, I'm going to use the smaller Milani sponge and blend out the concealer. Okay, the concealer did brighten up the under eye and everything. I do feel like it has pretty light coverage. It does make my under eyes, I mean, they look good. Just I'm used to a lot more coverage than this. But it's not bad. Okay, I did not get a new setting powder, so I'm just going to use this Covergirl Trublend Minerals Loose Mineral Powder in 200 Light. I usually use 300, but I got this one recently. And I figured I'll try it out today. And I'm just gonna dust that off using this this Larousse brush that I got in my recent Ipsy. If you haven't seen my Ipsy unboxing, I'll link it up in the cards. It is the tapered face brush. It is so soft and so nice. And perfect for exactly this. Just dusting the powder off. Kind of running the excess all over the rest of your face. So far, everything looks actually pretty nice. My pores are pretty visible because I don't have anything pore filling on. But for a nice, light, kind of everyday, like I said, no makeup, not heavy beat, the skin is looking really nice. So for bronzer, I'm going to try out this Kiko Milano bronzer. It's a bronzer and highlighter duo, Lost in Amalfi #2 Sunkissed. It looks pretty light, but I figured since I have light coverage on today, it might do something. Let's see. I'm going to use this Refer 24 bronzer brush because it fits pretty nicely into this space. And let's see if this does anything. Okay, it did give me like a little bit of warmth, not a lot. If you're slightly or any darker than me, this is not going to work for you. Yeah, this is not, and this is the darker of their two colors, so it does give me a tiny bit of warmth. I can only use this in the winter time because once I get a tan, it's done. For highlight, I have this new hard candy highlighting duo. So we have two colors. We have a champagne color, ooh, and more of a pinky color. They look pretty much the same on me, so I'm gonna go with the pinky color because I love me a pink highlight. It's a pretty icy bright highlight. If you like that bright look, this is definitely it. It's not great on texture, as you can see. You all of a sudden see my little spot right there, but it still is pretty beautiful. Down the center of my face, I'm going to use a highlighter in the Kiko Milano palette. It's more of a goldy color, more subtle. The bronzer may not be deep enough, but the highlight is gorgeous. Before I blush, I'm going to do a little bit of contouring. Gonna give my face a little bit more dimension since this bronzer didn't do much. With the I Heart Revolution contour palette, this is in medium. So I'm gonna go in with a very light hand with this because this looks dark as hell. Tiny bit on this Morphe R10 brush. right here in the hollow of my cheek, just to give it a little bit more definition. See that here? See that right there? That's what we're looking for. Just a little bit. Look like we lost a couple pounds. Here for it. And a tiny bit to contour the nose. Okay, and for blush, I'm going to go over this Covergirl Trublend So Flushed High Pigment Blush in Hot Frenzy. Now this is more on the orange side, which doesn't really go with the eyes, but I really want to use this because it's so gorgeous. I'm going to use this Revlon 04 brush. Very pigmented. Ooh. Okay, when they say high pigment, they're not lying. Look at this. I didn't even pick up that much. And look at how much pigment there is. That's crazy. Gotta tone that down a little bit. That's a gorgeous color though. Ooh. Love that color. This is really, really pigmented. If you have a deep skin tone, this is gonna show up really, really nicely on you. Beautiful. I'm gonna take this Ulta Beauty Marvel brush. Dust all over the face. And for setting spray, I didn't get a new one, so I'm going to use my favorite drugstore setting spray, the Milani Make It Last setting spray, the regular one. Okay, so now we're going to finish up the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with Emerald City and then blend it out with Fiddlehead and Chanterelle. Okay, for my inner corner, I'm going to use this lighter highlight color from Heart Candy. And for my brow bone, I'm going back to that Revlon Brow Glow Powder. So it looks like the powder is inside this little cap, and then there's this little round brush. Okay, so for my lash line, I'm going to use this LA Girl Magic Mint Pastel Dream Eyeliner. Okay, that's it on the eyes. And for lips, I have two choices. So I have two Juvia's Place lipsticks. I have In Vogue and Lady. And two liners. So Rare and Cola. I think I'm going to go with the more brownie nude one, which is Lady and Cola. I didn't get a new gloss, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And I didn't get a new mascara, so I'm just going to throw on some mascara just to look up a little bit. And I'll be right back. And here I am back with the finished look. So, tell me, what do you think? This is now a drugstore version of our last look. Tell me what you think about the products right now down in the comments. I'm going to tell you what I think. So I'm only going to be talking about the new stuff that I just picked up either in my Ulta haul or at CVS. Not the stuff that I've used before and I know and I love, just the brand new stuff. So starting with the Revlon Brow Shape and Glow. So the felt tip side, it's a little bit thicker than the one that I like. So it did a good job. It made some really nice hair-like strokes at the front of my brow. You can still see it. But it's just a little bit thicker than I would like because I have thinner brows. So I don't want thick strokes. This other part, the glow part, I'm not really a fan because this applicator is pretty fat. And when I went to put it on, it kind of spilled over onto my eyebrows. And then the product is in the cap. Now, I don't know if it's a solid or if it's powder. And if this tips over, if everything's going to come falling out. Not going to test it out, but not my favorite. And it really didn't. It's more of a... It really isn't that glowy to me. Like, I mean, I guess I see some highlight under my brow. But I guess I was expecting it to be glowier. I don't know. So I'm not sure if this is even necessary or needed, because you can just put your highlighter on the bottom of your brow. So this was okay, but not that great. And the palette, I absolutely love Rawbeautykristi. I love the packaging of this. It's embossed. Love the color story. I love like burgundies and, you know, these kind of colors with greens. Love these sort of mustardy kind of tones. Of course, I have some qualms with the palette. There's no mirror, but that's pretty common with Colourpop palettes. But still, I like having a mirror in my palette, especially when I'm doing my makeup in front of the camera. And the mattes in this palette are what shine. The shimmers are pretty, they're okay. They're not the best. I'm not the biggest fan of Colourpop shimmers. I feel like they're very thin. So you see the green one? It's almost like a topper. And a lot of their shimmers are like that. It has this very kind of thin consistency. The gold one is a little bit thicker, but you see with the green one, you might have to build it up. But it's on the thinner side, which is not my favorite. The mattes, however, absolutely stunning. They are pretty powdery and there was a lot of fallout, but the color payoff, the way it built up on each other, really, really nice. My favorite colors that I used was Amanita, this burgundy color. Look at that, look at that. That's a pigment though, so that might stain my hand. And Let It Rain, the black, has little shimmers in it. You don't really see it, it doesn't really come off. But it's a really, really nice kind of black, really deepened black burgundy. And then the greens and this mustard was really, really nice. But these two colors were my absolute favorite. That kind of smoked up the look. The mattes, exceptional in this palette. But of course, with the color story and the concept, she killed it. Absolutely love it. We'll definitely be keeping this, and I will be doing another look with it on my Instagram. Check, follow me down below. I just hit 3,000 followers. So happy. There's definitely going to be a huge holiday giveaway soon, so follow me on Instagram. It's always linked down below. The lashes, so these lashes are very dramatic and I absolutely love them. At first I was thinking it was kind of covering the look, but now that I'm looking at it, you really see the greens and everything through the wispiness at the top, because there are several layers to it. And then right at the top it kind of gets like more spacey, so you can see your look and you can see your work through it, so it's not like if it's lost. They are very light. They were easy to put on. The band is nice and soft. It doesn't feel heavy or uncomfortable on my eyes. I really, really like these, and I think this is limited edition. I'm gonna have to go pick up some more on sale, of course. The sponges, these sponges are really nice. They are so soft. They didn't absorb a whole lot of product. Like, you barely even see anything on the one that did my foundation. Really nice. Love the shape. Love this short kind of sharp little spot here for if you really want to like carve your under eyes out or your nose out. Really, really like this sponge, and I think for the two of them it was $10. Really affordable, really soft, really nice. The primer, now this did feel like the Milk Hydro Grip. It had the same look to it. It felt the same going on my skin, had the same kind of tackiness to it. So I do see where people are saying that this is a dupe for the Milk. This also has hyaluronic acid and agave in it, so it does help to keep your skin moisturized. So it's really good for putting under like a matte foundation. So I'll use it again. I'll see if it makes my makeup last. Obviously not today because it's midnight and I ain't going nowhere. But this really does seem like a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip, and this was, I believe, $9, and the Milk Hydro Grip is like $35. So the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer. I'm usually not a tinted moisturizer type of girl. If I'm doing no makeup, I just put concealer under. I just put a concealer on and that's it. I just dust some powder over my face. I don't really do like tinted moisturizer. This, however, was really nice. It was a little bit thicker than I thought it would be for a tinted moisturizer. The color is totally off. It makes me look a little bit yellow, and even more so that I'm wearing this yellow dress. So I might have to look into getting another color. This is Deep 01. I am horrible at picking my foundation color online, but I might try it out in a different color because I actually like how it feels. Very light. I literally feel like I'm not wearing any makeup at all right now. Very light. Doesn't do much for pore filling, but I can always throw a primer on underneath. And for being a tinted moisturizer and light coverage, I did get pretty good coverage where, you know, you're not really seeing like my acne scars and my hyperpigmentation around my mouth. Again, as a tinted moisturizer, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I think in combination with that primer and my Make It Last setting spray, it probably will last a little bit longer. So I am going to give this a try, like during the day when I'm running around doing errands. I'll try it again and see how well this lasts. The concealer, I was actually pretty surprised that this had such light coverage. It did feel really nice under my eyes. I gave it a minute for it to dry down. It doesn't have the most coverage, but it did cover up my under eye circles enough. And I like the fact that it's basically an eye cream in a concealer. So there are benefits, like there's hyaluronic acid in here. Again, that's good for the fine lines and wrinkles under the eye. Keep it nice and moisturized, because the worst thing you need are dry under eyes. That's just wrinkle city. We don't need that. So my only problem with it is the application. I prefer if it was a doe foot. I don't like these squeezy tubes because it just gives me extra work. But it was a really nice lightweight concealer. Again, I think in combination with the tinted moisturizer for a everyday no makeup kind of quick throw on look, skin like look, I think they pair very well. The Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm. I should have used some of this on my chest to give me a little bit more color to match the foundation. But I really like this. I like the formula of it. It didn't give me a lot of color payoff. Maybe I have to try the darker one. But the darker one looked so dark when I was picking it up that I was worried that it would be too dark. But I might have to try the darker one if I really want to get really bronzed, say in the summertime when I have a little bit more of a tan. But it's a really nice lightweight, really nice blendable cream bronzer. Gave me a little bit of warmth, not too crazy. Really like it. Has a kind of a fruity smell, which I don't mind, but so far I like it. The Kiko Milano Lost in Amalfi bronzer and highlighter duo. I kind of give my opinion on this on my Ulta haul. I'll link my Ulta haul in the cards and down below if you haven't seen it, where I picked this up. Where for their deepest bronzer, this is not a deep enough bronzer. And I think Kiko is one of those brands where they need to do better in terms of their shade range. I had this conversation in my last video about Hourglass, that, you know, they have all these pretty things, but their shade range is trash. Trash. This cannot be your deepest bronzer. Black women, but black people need to be bronzed as well. So you need to do better, Kiko. On the other hand, the highlighter is beautiful, really nice, not blinding, but a really nice wet highlight. Is very soft, very smooth, really nice. Really like the highlighter. That's what I have down the middle of my face. But the bronzer didn't do much for me. Just very lightly gave me a little bit of warmth, but they need to come out with deeper shades of any bronzer. Any of their bronzers that they come out with, they never go pretty deep. What's the deal, Kiko? What they need to do is take a lesson from I Heart Revolution. So this is their medium contour, and this is so deep. I had to go in with such a light hand. It's definitely a contour shade because it's more on the neutral side. It's not warm at all, so it's really good for contouring. It gave me a little bit of chiseling and on my nose to help carve it out. It did a really good job there. I didn't use the highlighter. The highlighter is actually pretty similar to the Kiko one, a nice gold color. The Kiko one is a little bit more reflective, but it's a nice gold highlight. I Heart Revolution, their face products are usually pretty nice, and I'm really glad that this runs so deep. And the Hard Candy highlighting duo, these are really icy. I have no more fingers. These are really icy. They're beautiful, but because they're so icy, they tend to look pretty similar on my skin tone. You just very barely see any difference. They're both very icy. I tend not to go for icier highlights. It's not as crazy now because I put my blush over my highlight to tone it down a little bit because I don't like my highlight to be out of control. They are very, very beaming if you like bright, icy highlights. Definitely. And I think for the two of them was pretty affordable, maybe like $7 or $8. And these are two full-size highlighters in here. The eyeshadow primer, I really couldn't tell you if it's gonna make my eyeshadow last long because I'm not gonna wear this for very long, but it did feel really nice on the eyelids. It did have a little bit of tackiness to it, so that helps to grab the pigment of the eyeshadow onto the eye. And I mean, the eyeshadow looks nice, bright, vibrant, so it could be in conjunction with the eyeshadow as well as the eyeshadow primer. I've heard a lot of people saying that this is really good. I'm going to try it with other formulas and see how it works. So I'm definitely going to keep trying this. But in my first impression, it seemed to work really well. The blush. Talk about high pigment. One little dab, my entire cheek was orange. This would be beautiful on deeper skin tones. If you have a problem with blushes showing up on you, try this. Check to see the other colors. Try these because this is super pigmented. Go in with a light hand, but this is beautiful. I love the tone of this orange. Doesn't really go with the look, but you know what? It was just a really, really beautiful blush. You don't need a lot. This is gonna last a long time because you just need to like one tiny little dip in there and you get a really nice color payoff. Really like this. The Profusion brushes, these were really nice. I like that they're nice and small. I love using small brushes to really get precise with the colors where you're placing it. So they are really on the smaller side and I really like that. They're nice, they're soft, they have a soft touch handle. They seem pretty high end and they're, like I said, they range from $3 to $5. So these are really nice brushes if you want to pick these up. They're in Walmart, really nice and readily available. The Ulta Beauty brushes, which are actually more pricey than the Profusion brushes, they're okay. This blending brush was a little bit stiff for my liking. Because it's a bigger blending brush, this would be something for do the transition color. And I felt like it was a little bit stiff to really work that color all over the transition area. This one is really supposed to be a concealer brush. This might be perfect for actually applying the concealer under the eye. So, I mean, it was okay. I used it to put the shimmer on my lid and it's a little bit big for that, but it was okay. The face brush, it was nice. I really didn't do much with it. I just used this to dust to kind of buff powder all over my face. It's nice and soft, it's big, it's fluffy, it's pretty. I can't remember what the price of this. I got it for half price. This is probably like anywhere between $12 and $15. So it's pretty pricey for a affordable brush, but I got it 50% off. So, and I think the entire line is 50% off. So if you think these are pretty like I did, they're 50% off now at Ulta. And the LA Girl Pastel Dream Liner in Magic Mint. I have their neon liners and I love them. I wear them all the time. They stay really nicely in the waterline. They show up. And this color is beautiful. It brightened up this look where you can see the green on the lower lash line. And you guys saw me put it on. It went on really nice. It's still pretty pigmented. It's still there showing up. I really like their liners and it's really nice and affordable. These are originally like maybe $5 or $6. I got them on sale for around $3. I picked up a bunch of other colors, but I wanted to use this one today for this look. I really like these liners and I definitely recommend picking them up. They might be a dupe for the Colourpop ones, and the Colourpop ones are around $7 or $8. But then this you can just pick up in store, so it makes it a little bit easier. Lastly, the Juvia's Place liner and lipstick. So I used the liner in Cola. This is nice and creamy, just so soft. It goes on still here. It's a really nice brown for my skin tone, kind of like the type of color I like to wear every day. Really nice, deep. That went on really nice. And then the lipstick, like I said before, the bullet is really interesting. The color is a little bit different from colors that I usually see. It's sort of like a peachy, orangey nude color. It looks absolutely beautiful. It has a similar formula to the KKW ones that I love, where it goes on nice and creamy, but then it dries down matte. Like right now it dried all the way down matte and it's not uncomfortable. I mean, in general I would put a lip gloss over it anyway because I like a glossy lip, but to just wear it just like this as a matte lip is actually really comfortable and doesn't feel like drying and like sucking all the moisture out of your lip. And it really looks like a nice nude for my skin tone. Really like this, so I'm definitely gonna wear the other color next. All right, that's it. That's all the new drugstore stuff that I've picked up recently and I wanted to try on my face. So this is the look that we came up with. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed it, which one of the products is your favorite. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.